I pledge to actively work towards a more socially and environmentally responsible world. I will continue to honor these words long after graduation in my career, relationships, and all other pursuits. And I will encourage others to embrace this message as well. I just graduated from the University of Michigan. I majored in child development and a minor in peace and social justice. And I'm hoping to go into medicine and become a neonatologist. I consider Ginsberg Center my home on campus for the past 4 years.
The university is a very big place, and sometimes we need something a little bit smaller, more intimate. And I think that the community service learning experience provides that intimacy.
My freshman year, I decided to do alternative weekends, which involves doing service for 1 weekend each month. Alternative weekends is part of an umbrella program called SERVE, and I decided to join alternative spring break as well, so giving up my entire spring break to do service. Working with kids with disabilities in Texas. And I've served abroad in free health clinics working with impoverished people in Nicaragua and Dominican Republic.
It is hard to learn to be compassionate, to understand that the world really does operate differently for different folk, that you have to make a contribution. It's hard to learn that outside of an experience with that. So there are several programs that are anchor programs for us. I think is critical to the university's mission around leadership. We talk a lot at Michigan about leaders invest. And part of leading, I believe, is service, that it is not possible to provide leadership and not provide service.
My dad loved life. Anything that he got interested in, he just was exuberant about it.
We talked about things at the dinner table, learned about current events, and that was an important part of our education.
And every Saturday we watched the Michigan football game. So all I heard about from the day I was a little boy was the University of Michigan. My dad was the national chairman of the United Jewish Appeal from 1967 through 1971. And then after that, he was the head of the Joint Distribution Committee for 5 years, which was headquartered in Europe. The State of Israel was created in 1948. And I remember in the early 50s, my dad going on these trips to help get Jewish people out of the countries like Russia, Hungary, Morocco, and to be able to get them to go to Israel and start a new life there.
I met Edward my first year at college. In the first year, we just were friends. And then by the second year, we knew we wanted to get married. It was after World War II, and Eddie became a lawyer. And he jumped into that. He loved it. And he was a very good lawyer. And he spoke beautifully. Eddie was a marvelous speech giver. And we had become very friendly with Golda and Diane and all of these people, really good friends. He just had the biggest heart in the world. He honestly did. He was a marvelous, marvelous giving man to his family, to people, anybody. I found out later he was sending people to college. When he died, I got these letters from people that had been sent to college by him that I never heard of. I didn't know anything about them.
My father passed away in January of 1997.
After Dad passed away, we said we wanted to do something to honor Dad. We really were trying to think of something that would encapsulate what Dad was all about. And one day, Billy called me, and he said, "Have you heard of this Center for Community Service in Ann Arbor?"
I can remember actually the day the gift was dedicated, and I'm going to try not to tear up. I can remember Bill Ginsberg talking about honoring your parents and wanting to do this in honor of his father. And I think this does, and that the students every day go out and add to that legacy of giving and that legacy of service. And that they come back different than they were when they went out, and that he could not, I can't imagine anything pleasing him more than to be able to do with other people's children what he was able to do with his own. And we've got tons of students whose lives are fundamentally different because of this gift.
I'm so proud of the Ginsberg Center and what it's doing, and I know that my father would be proud because this is really what it's all about. Don't give until it hurts. Give until it feels really good.
When we have people in the community like the Ginsbergs who make this kind of investment in young people and consequently in the future, there just is not a better gift, and there is not a better way for us to say to students, you matter, the work that you're going to do matters, and that it's important. And we are a different, better university for them having made this gift in honor of their father.
In the alumni surveys, over 90% of students indicate that they're still involved with service activities. It doesn't require a career in service, but often it's that weekend activity, that 1 or 2 night activity that fills the void that makes one whole.
It has definitely been like a sobering experience, being able to see people who come from different backgrounds. It's made me feel privileged, but also recognize the fact that because I have that privilege, I'm able to give back to the community and help serve and try and end different cycles like the cycle of poverty, work towards a more environmentally just world. I recognize the injustice, and it just makes me continue to want to do more and change the world, and hopefully I can do that. I pledge to actively work towards a more socially and environmentally responsible world, and encourage others to embrace this. And I will encourage others to embrace this message as well.